Puka Nacua, fan favorite Rams player and just NFL player in general across the league. A couple of days ago, he went on Julian Edelman's podcast, Game with Names, and it was an amazing interview, a lot of fun. Link to the full podcast is in the description below. Check it out. In this video, he's talking about Brock Purdy, the 49ers. He talks about Snead McVay, Snead, Matthew Stafford. Lots of topics. I'm going to leave timestamps below. This is me just reacting to it as a Rams fan. But in general, I'm a big fan of Puka Nacua, and I think that if you're watching this video, odds are you are as well. Feel free to introduce yourself to me in the comments below if you haven't already. And if you've been here before, thanks for watching. And as always, go Rams. This is the Rams Radar.
Well, Brock Purdy, is he going to get a 5?
I don't think so.
Do you think he's going to go with a 4? It's going to start with a 4.
Yeah.
A high 4?
No.
Oh.
I think
mid 4.
Mid 4.
A 45?
I think so. I mean, I think
If he does that, that'd be smart for him and them.
yeah. I mean, I think he seems like a smart guy. I think they have a chance to still be in their window, and I think if he goes for a 5, that the window closes.
Puka, be quiet. Stop giving advice, right? Interesting take for sure. I think Brock Purdy and his agent are gonna get something over 50 a year. Personally, that's my opinion. I think just the way that the quarterback market kind of works, I think that's the case.
Right?
Coming from division rival.
I mean, yeah. As long as they got Fred on the other side, I think they'll be able to figure some things out.
So speaking of Fred Warner,
Yeah.
how is it competing against a guy like him? I saw him doing a tribal dance when they were doing a joint practice with the Raiders. He was sniffing grass and doing stuff, and I got scared before the practice started when I saw him doing that shit. How is it competing against him over the middle when you are eating over there?
No, it's a wild place. I remember when we played him just this past year, we ran like a dagger concept, and he's opening up to the field, and then like he meets me at the inside edge of the numbers. Like I make my in cut, and he's right there waiting for me. We run into each other, and he kind of steps on my foot, and he kind of falls over, and I was like, oh, like hopefully they get the clip or like a photo of just this at the end where it's like Fred's on the floor and I'm standing up because I'm just gonna tell him like, oh, this was a run play, and I blocked him 25 yards down the field. But he takes up so much space, like, and he can run, he can.
Hey, you know what? I respect Fred Warner. He's been a good player in this league for a long time. He is one of the reasons the Niners have been a good team for a long time. Yeah, Puka, give him props where due. And
then he fits so well in the run game. Like it's something about BYU, man. The Cougs, we produce some good guys.
BYU,
Kyle Van Noy. That's right, baby.
Now, when you I remember playing against my division opponents. And you knew the guys that you were going against. Who's the guy that you have to go against a lot from this team this year? And then who are some of the guys that it's going to be a long day? They talk shit. They're confidence guy. Like which of these guys do you know that it's going to be a long day? Talk.
Shoot, Greenlaw was talking. I remember that for like it's been my rookie year. Like this is only game 2. Like yeah, I'm like we had a good first game and we won. But of being like yo, like I'm still figuring a lot of this out. Like I'm scared. I'm like I need to focus everything on me because if I focus on somebody else, I'm gonna mess up my job.
Now what's his shit talking like? Is he talking to you pre-snap like, hey, Puka?
No, nothing pre-snap, but it's like
Puka,
when,
coming up
when he tackled me.
Baptize you.
I think this tells us a lot about Julian Edelman, and I don't think anyone's surprised.
No, I definitely can't let that happen. But I remember he tackled me a couple times, and man, linebackers, they got to exert dominance. Like he punched at the ball for no reason. We're already down, and the whistle's being blown, and he's getting his extra punching, and he's like, yeah, you better stay down. Like I'm gonna tackle you again. And then once that one, it was one early in the game, and then that got Fred talking because then I remember caught one over the middle on Fred, Hufanga, and the corner ended up all hitting me at the same time, and I ended up at the bottom of the pile, and Fred was like, yeah, Pook, it's just getting started. And I was like, oh, and we're in for a long one today.
Now, when you see Hufanga, you guys give a little
No, we couldn't do that. I'm like, no, it wasn't like that. It's
poly head nod. Like, hey, come on.
I love that. First of all, I love that Puka is talking so openly about it. this takes you back to when you're playing sports and just smack talking on the court, on the field, whatever sport you're playing. And even though this, like, Edelman, retired professional football player, Puka, current professional football player, and they still, it's still the game aspect of them, right? And just hey, we're some guys on the field playing the game, and we want to win.
Oh man, hey.
He came. I remember. So we're running freaking duo. And I got my push crack. The corner's off, so I'm going to get him. I'm like
safety.
So I'm like the same thing. I'm like there was no head nod, so I'm like this means we're going full go right now. So I load up and he loaded up and hit me. It was a stalemate. We both stood each other up and it was like, all right, I think the run's over by now. And I was like, all right, hopefully I don't have to do that again because like I don't know if I can do that 25 more times. I was like just straight downhill. I was like, holy cow, there's no gather. He just like went full speed into. I was like, oh.
Jamal Adams used to do that. Mm-hmm. He didn't even care about the goddamn run play. He literally would take that play and just knock me out every time. He knocked me out the club 4 or 5 times in one game. And we would run 30 yards right by him.
He was coming to get you.
He would knock me out the fucking game because I would go at about 100 mile an hour. He'd come at me 100 mile and that motherfucker could hit.
Yeah, holy God.
I hate having to dig out that force. What about Christian McCaffrey? Like, what a stud. Is he gonna get healthy this year?
I think so. I mean, shoot, the workout, he looks jacked all the time. So, I mean, his workout plan's got to be great, right? I'm like, I've never seen somebody who's like a calf, like calves like his. Like he's got tremendous calves. And I'm like, I think that's got to be a part of the speed. I'm like, I wasn't built with like that. I'm like,
change of direction is usually a calf thing. Deion Sanders used to say, you ain't never seen calves on a racehorse. That's what Deion said.
Oh,
because Deion had the high bird calves. The real fast guy. He's got that like generational. His grandpa was fast shit, but like the real fast guys, they have those high bird calves.
Yeah, they're
kind of small, but they're up there. Those are burners.
Yeah,
go look at Deion's calves. Burners. But yeah, he's a baller, huh?
He's a beast. His contact balance and like his ability to like transition out of the second level to run by everybody. It's hard to get like that.
So what's your mindset going into this week when you're playing this team? San Francisco 49ers, this is a 2-game win.
Yeah.
Because if you beat them, you're putting them down a game and you're going up a game. This is a 2-win game. And this is a division rival where this team probably dominated the Rams for a long time. 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Then the Rams started getting good with Bolger. Then they went back to the Niners. Now you guys have been kind of taking there's a lot of historic rivalry here.
100%.
So what is it like? Is the intensity kicked up a little more? Is McVay got a little pep in his step because he gets to go against his fucking boy Shanahan? Like, there's got to be some kind of juju going on in that facility.
100%. You feel like as soon as we flew back from Seattle that week before, it's like, all right, everybody knew it was Niners week. Like, no, don't show up to the facility wearing a red outfit. Like, we're having our the team meeting is happening on Monday. When we show up, it's not waiting till Wednesday. Like, they're like, all right, this is the mindset for the week we're coming in. This is the game plan. It's like, I'm sure there is like a energy boost from Coach McVay because he is going against Shanahan, but he keeps it nice and cool. He does show a lot of emotion and he gets rolling in the team meetings. But I remember thinking of like, this is our first home game. Like, I'm a little nervous. Like, what is it gonna look like? And I friggin' Bobby Wagner the week before, I thought broke one of my ribs. So I'm like, like during practice, like I got this big old pad and like guys aren't hitting me. So I'm like, I'm trying to make sure I know I'm about to go up against Fred Warner. So I'm like, I at least got to hit one day. I at least got to get hit one day during the week because if I don't go in there and I get hit by Fred the first play of the game, like it's going to hurt and it might take me out.
Yeah.
But I just remember like still just being kind of like in like shock of like.
For the record, love hearing that NFL player insight about going into a rivalry game, especially when it's the Rams and Niners to it. Love that from Puka. Love that.
This is what's going on for me right now. Like, first week went so well, second week now, like, and then when you come out to the pregame, like, everybody's wearing red. Like, the lower bowl's already filled up and everybody in the stadium's wearing red. I'm like, yo, this is supposed to be our first home game. Like, and everybody's like, get used to it. When we play the Niners, everybody shows up like wearing red.
Bang,
like,
bang, Niner gang.
Yeah, just like a sea of red. It was crazy. And like, come out and do the intros and it's like, are people cheering or is everybody booing? Like it's like just random noise and it just was like boo, and I'm like, what the heck? Like it doesn't feel right because I'm like, in high school, I mean, college, BYU home games, like you go to some crazy stadium, but like this is our field, like, this is our home field, and everybody is wearing the opposite color of what we're supposed to be wearing. Like, but yeah, the intro I remember like took me for like a whirlwind of being like, yo, they just called my name and we just got booed as like our whole intro, everybody got booed, and like this can't be real, right?
Those Niner fans, they travel. It's not just here; they travel everywhere. It's people don't realize Niners.
Oh, people realize. No, I give full credit where credit's due to the Niners faithful fandom, and they do travel, especially to SoFi. They love our stadium, unfortunately, and that's something that I do think the Rams, if they continue to win, can continue to address it, and if the Niners close that Super Bowl window, it goes down a bit. I think they have their embedded fan base, especially that kind of carryover from the 80s and 90s that just, will always be, Niner, crazy, which, again, power to them. That's awesome. But I think that it's important to recognize that the rivalry of the Rams and Niners, it's because they're both in California now too. It's gonna stay heated for years to come. And, SoFi is just so much better of a stadium than what the Niners got.
Niners got a lot of history over there.
Niner Nation.
Was that your team growing up?
That was my team growing up.
Oh.
Jerry Rice.
Is Jerry Rice
Waters,
Joe Montana.
Ricky Waters, Steve Young.
Steve Young,
Ray
there's a BYU
Jones.
guy. You just can't get rid of the BYU
Can't,
guys, man.
dude. Can't. BYU dudes are everywhere. My agent, Carter Chow, his dad was the head coach of BYU, wasn't he, Norm? Wasn't Norm the head coach of BYU?
Oh, yeah. He was on the staff in a lot of different capacities.
I love BYU.
From 73 all the way up to 99.
He might have been on the Heisman. Was it Ty Depner won the Heisman?
Maybe.
He might have been like in there because
I
he
think
was
so.
the USC.
99.
OC
I mean,
too.
he had to be there for when they won the national championships.
That
Yeah,
sounds
he
right.
was. And then he went to USC, and
LaVell
then that's when
Edwards.
he started going UCLA, all that. He went to the Pac-12. Because that's when BYU was in the Mountain West, but they were still getting Pac-10 talent. And then they go beat up on all the Mountain West teams, and then they play like a Pac-10 school and knock them off.
Yeah. That's the BYU way.
That's right, baby.
You get put up with the sleeper game, and then everybody's like, BYU's not that good. And then they come out and
they
whip
come
you.
whoop you.
Come in
They
and show
whoop
you what's up.
Jackie, let's jump over to these Rams.
Let's get into these Rams real quick. 10-7 this year. Sean McVay's 7th season in LA. All the talk before the season, coming off his first losing season as a head coach, which is crazy, was retirement. Oh, he might go do media. Puka's rookie season, of course, 5th round pick, 177. Aaron Donald's final season, crazy. Jalen Ramsey was dealt in the offseason. And to start this season, we mentioned it earlier, Coop was on IR up until week 5 with a little nagging hammy.
This is what's crazy for me. Okay, the Rams mortgaged their future. They mortgaged their future to win a Super Bowl. Got that Super Bowl.
Yep.
The only way you can get out of that rut is by drafting good players. Now they hit on Kyron Williams, who is what, 6th, 7th,
He's a 5th round pick.
Also
Fifth.
fifth. Also fifth.
and they hit on Puka Nacua.
Yeah, 5th round.
So talk to
The
me
5th
about.
round boys. The 5th round boys.
No, I'm
guys
telling
shoot
you,
three.
that's the reason why you guys are viable now, is because you guys are building. When you do that and you bring those free agents in and stuff like that, yeah, you got to hit that window. You guys did, but then you have to rebuild your team through the draft, and that's what you guys have done the last few years, including having a guy like you get you in the 5th, steal you in the 5th, and then get the production that you've had. What makes Les Snead and Sean McVay so special?
Yeah.
Are they real buddy at work? Do they finish each other's sentences, or are they like, you don't see them together and one's doing one and one's doing the other?
No, I definitely do see them together. I think Les Snead is definitely like the super. I mean, not to say that Coach McVay isn't like a critical thinker, but like you can tell he doesn't talk as much as Coach McVay. So you're like, he's thinking about every word that's about to come out of his mouth, and there has a reason. He thought about all the 5 different avenues where the conversation could go and what are the different impacts of it. Where Coach McVay, he's thinking about that, but like the football. Like how the person's going to interact, because like Coach, he could, I mean, he talks to everybody. He has them by name. He knows where they got kids, or where their family is, where they're back home from. Like every time I see him, he asks about my little brother. He asks me how my mom's doing.
EQ through the roof.
Like
EQ through the roof.
Just it's so fun to talk to him, and you see it, like his energy is contagious as could be. Like his passion for not only the game of football but to be like a good person. It helps get everybody excited to go play football for him, because you feel like that real authentic energy. So it makes it super fun. But I think those two are it's a very good dynamic duo.
You know, with Sean, it has to be authentic. Like the high energy shit. Is authentic with Sean.
Yeah.
He loves football. That guy is football. I mean, I played against him in college. We played against each other in Miami, Ohio.
Shout out to Mac.
Who won?
Shout
Who
out
won?
to Mac. I think he won 1 year and I won 1 year.
I'll do some thinking on that.
I don't remember him, but I know he remembered me. No, but with the authenticity of that high energy is something that you see through Coach McVay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been so fun to watch you guys from, a closer distance now that I've retired and moved out here and seen your development, building, with Verse and all the defensive guys that you've brought in through the draft, and you and Kyron. Like, it's so fun. When did you realize that, like, this is week 2? What did you crack him for in the first week? You had 10 catches or something?
Yeah, 10 for 120.
10 for 120, okay? So you kind of knew before that game that there was chemistry between you and Matthew Stafford. When did you feel that chemistry actually ignite, and like you knew you were going to have this 10 catch game going into the week 2 where you're going to have the performance you have?
So rookie mini camp, we get drafted, we show up, and then there's like 2 weeks after that, the rookies got to stay after everybody else goes, and everybody's leaving, but except me and my roommate, Davis Allen. I was 177, he was 175, 2 picks in front of me. We're at the hotel together. We're both rookies, so we're staying, and everybody's going. We're like, oh, we're going to stay. And we get a text of like, from one of our strength coaches, like, Matthew wants you to come out and catch. For like, Higgs is going to be there. Our other wide receiver, Van Jefferson, is going to be there. And they were like, he wants you to come out. And be like, for real? Like,
wow.
Out of all the guys on the team, like, he asked me and like my roommate to come out, and was like, I got to run the best routes of my life. If I cannot drop a ball, like, it's got to be as good, it's got to be the best route running I've ever had in my life. And the first day, I'm like, you've thrown with him. Like, you see when like you're coming out of breaks and like the ball's in the perfect spot every time, and be like, if I keep my feet and like I as long as I can see the ball spinning for a second, I'm like, he is not missing. Like, no, whether it's upfield, we're running an out route, puts on your front shoulder, you can tap and turn and get on the side, and you're running on a curl break, it's on your inside pass, so you can drop step and turn over your inside shoulder. And that was like, holy cow.
So you're basically telling me that you guys had instant chemistry.
I mean, low key, I felt like first thing I was like,
honestly, I'm not even gonna second guess that because I went with him once to Golden West.
Yeah.
We threw together. I think we threw 45 balls. I think we went 45 for 45. We never even met each other. Wow. That's how elite his arm talent is. He like Puka was saying, the ball come right out there, right out that break is right on your forehead.
Literally.
Right up on your forehead. And he just over here slings it.
Oh man, he got that little half white arm sleeve.
Yeah.
And just dot him up.
What do you think makes him so special? Is it the arm strength? What do you see from his day-to-day that makes him special?
I mean, I think his attention to detail, like, man, like he just like, I mean, I think of him and Les Snead, like, so man, he's not the guy who's gonna go out and have the most conversation. He's gonna talk to everybody, but man, like, you see, he's got the big old like year calendar, like notebook, where he's got an old pen and paper. It's like the yellow pages still, like, where it's got like the little brown spot at the top, and you fold it over. So it's like, that's him. Like, he's got it, and he's taking notes. He's got it all.
That's how we used to do it in the NFL. Yeah, I know you're like, so used to iPads and fucking devices and stuff. You probably didn't ever read a book. We used to get a big ass binder with all the plays.
No, yeah, hell no, they definitely don't do that anymore.
3-incher. It'd be a 3-incher.
You gotta save some trees, man. Start using an iPad, man.
I guess we are.
But yeah, I think his toughness, I think, is the one thing is like, man,
yeah,
you have to cut up both arm and legs off for that guy to leave the football field.
1,000%.
And I think as that quarterback position, you don't always get that. And I think that separates him from almost every other guy out there.
Now, when the guys in the locker room see and know about Matthew Stafford's toughness, does it have like an energy in the room where if a guy gets kind of banged up, they like, oh, well, our star quarterback just played with broken ribs or whatever. He's always playing banged up.
Yeah.
I got to play. Is there that energy with Matthew Stafford in that locker room?
100%. It's like it's definitely bled into the identity of our team and stuff like that, and how guys operate and be like, yo, this is the most prized possession we have is our quarterback. You know how the locker room is, and like how the the whole football team operates through this guy. And he will never take himself out of the game.
So that was really fun to watch. I encourage you to go watch the whole thing. I have so many thoughts that come at that. The first thing just saying is, man, Puka Nacua, I am so glad that the Rams drafted you. You are so authentic, you're likable, and also you're a baller on the football field. You are just such a polished route runner. It bothers me when people don't give Puka Nacua the respect he deserves. He is legitimately one of the top 5, top 3, getting into that top wide receiver conversation in the NFL, and he's still disrespected because he was a 5th round pick. But when you look at the eye test, you're like, man, this guy can catch anything. Man, like and he said it right there, like as long as Stafford gets him the ball and he sees it for a split second, he's gonna pull it in. He has great hands. He's got a good football mind and IQ, and just in general, a likable person. He didn't talk about Brock Purdy as much as I thought he was going to when kind of looking at this, but interesting, that's some definitely interesting mindset of, if Brock Purdy gets more than a $50 million per year contract, like maybe that closes the Niners windows. Who knows? I'll give my 2 cents that I think that Brock Purdy is going to get a $55+ million a year contract. And, as someone who's not a fan of the Niners, pay the man. Reset the market with them, right? 60, 70 million. Why not? Brock Purdy, do it up. But in all seriousness, I do believe Brock Purdy is a good quarterback. I don't know if he is on that next level of like a Mahomes or a Josh Allen, but he's still a young quarterback too. People forget that. But in this, I loved hearing Puka talk about Matthew Stafford and his toughness and just him as a quarterback, and that story from him as a rookie with Davis Allen. They're calling him out. He can be like, hey, Stafford wants to throw with you. And then I think probably my favorite part of this interview is actually him talking about Les Snead and Sean McVay and their relationship and just how they're different. And I actually appreciated Julian Edelman's insight into, the Rams, they sold out to get their they sacrificed their future to get their Super Bowl win. And now if you're going to recover from that, you got to hit the draft well. And the Rams' approach to the draft has been near flawless, right? Getting as many picks as possible, having a draft haul of 14 picks, 11 picks, right? Having those kind of back-to-back drafts that really rebuilt their defense, rebuilt their O-line. They've just done a lot of really good things in the NFL draft the past couple of years. And I love that for the Rams. I think they are one of the best drafting teams in the NFL, especially the past 2 drafts. And I don't know if it's Les. I don't know if it's the Rams scouting department. Sean McVay will talk about, how they rely on their kind of 8 years of information to do what they do. And I think that is important for sure. But I love what this team is doing, and Puka Nacua, he represents all the best that the Rams have to offer. I'm so excited for his career. I'm excited for 2025. I think Puka has a chance to be a really special receiver. I know people criticize, he only got a few touchdowns last year. I think that can increase. I think Devontae Adams coming in really helps the Rams. I think that Kyron Williams will take another step forward as a running back, because people forget he's still quite a young running back in his prime. And of course, you got the legend of Matthew Stafford that continues at least one more season with the Los Angeles Rams, and I'm here for it. Let's go. Thanks for watching, everyone. Feel free to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. You can check out some of my other videos. I had an interesting one about Matthew Stafford you can watch here. As always, go Rams, horns up, and peace out. Let's go Rams. Woo!